Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. I'm going to try this again. There were no joiners, and that happened to be once before, and there was a glitch with Facebook. So I'm going to try it again. Welcome. My name is Lindsay. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator of 21 years. I love to craft and I love to share ideas with you. The series, Why Did I Buy This, started as a way to help crafters find unique ways to use products that they have in their collections. Oh, yay, I am seeing names. This is a good sign. If you did join in and I didn't see your name before, forgive me that I cut it off, but I was like, this has happened to me before where I have been started, like I went through the whole broadcast and nobody could see it. So hi, Ashley, thank you for joining in. Yes, so it's also a great series for new crafters who are wondering what they need to get started. I am so excited to get to share some techniques with you today. As a reminder, I have collaborated with my pal Meg Loven of Loven Stamps, and she has a series called Maker Mornings with Meg. And the two of us have put together a club called the Why Did I Buy This Maker Club. So you can join month to month. For Canadians, it's $35. And with that, you are going to get your own Why Did I Buy This VIP experience. You're going to get to have your own community that you get to join. You're going to receive a packet in the mail with custom made product shares. That you will get some ideas on what to use. We will have a live Zoom each month where you can join in and get your own private Why Did I Buy This Maker video, and time for you to get to work on projects that you have in your studio. So if you're somebody who has had some craft supplies collecting and you've been sort of thinking, I don't have time for myself, I really want to be able to use these things, this is a great experience for you. So April is our first month. We already have an amazing collection of people who are joining. We're so excited to get to share this experience with you. It's going to be tons of fun. If you're still thinking you'd like to join in April, reach out to me because there's still a little bit of time. Each month you need to let us know by the first of the month, but because this is the first time we've been doing this, if you would still like to join, there's still like a little bit of time, but let us know like by this weekend. Hello, Carol. Hello, Debbie. Good to see you. Yes, please say hi as you tune in. It helps me know that I'm not talking to myself, which I sometimes do. We have heaps of snow today, which kind of feels like a little bit of an April Fool's joke. It's like deep. Like I would say we're upwards of 2 to 3 inches of snow already. Yeah, April 5th. Who would have thought? Hello, Joette. Nice to see you. Yes, please say hi. Hello, Cindy. Good to see you. So a couple of things to pay attention to. So number one, the Why Did I Buy This Maker Club is now into its first month. So you'll want to make sure that you join if that's been on your heart. And secondly, we have on April 9th, retiring lists coming out for both of our catalogs. So both our big catalog, the annual catalog, and our mini catalog are going live. And there are some discounted products coming out. So you'll want to pay attention to that. The 9th, I think, is on Wednesday. Does that sound right? Hi, Beth. So, yeah. Today, we're going to be playing with some of those last chance items, and I'm going to be revealing a couple of the deals that are coming out. There's things that are up to 60% off, so it's a pretty good deal. Now, having said that, we have one more month with this annual catalog, and just like all things in the world, we have some price increases coming in our catalog. Now, what I've observed is the things that Stampin' Up! Manufacturers stamp sets, those are staying pretty status quo. But the things that you are going to want to sort of take care of this month, if you use a lot of them, is cardstock, ink, punches, envelopes, adhesives. Those things are going up and quite significantly. So in Canada, our white cardstock is going up, I think, $4. So I would highly recommend in the month of April to go ahead and earlier the better, because you know, things sell out, to kind of stock up on some of those things while you're paying the lower price, because you have the opportunity to. So I just wanted to give that mention so that you know, so that if you'd like to stock up on those foundational supplies, it's kind of like the paper part of paper crafting, then you have a chance to do that, okay? All right, so we are gonna get started. We're talking about the last chance list today, which comes out on April 9th. So watch my store for that. And I'm gonna do the awkward transition and show you a few projects using those amazingly discounted products. So here's our awkward transition and, okay, I'm just gonna clip you into my stand here. Oh, I don't know why it clipped, sorry, one sec. There, sorry, I'm making you seasick. Forgive me. As you can tell, I am a techno wizard. Okay, and then we're gonna zoom in so you can see my hands. Okay, so what we are going to be playing with is some of the sets and dies that are heavily discounted. So the one I'm going to start with is the stamp set called Super Cool. It's fun because it has that vintage feel and it includes a lot of really popular treats. You can see that it was $28 Canadian and now it's $14 starting April 9th. So put that one on your wish list. I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white cardstock and I have a few colors we're going to play with. Lemon Lolly, Soft Seafoam, Flirty Flamingo, and I believe there's a Pool Party kicking around here too. Or Balmy Blue, maybe it was Balmy Blue. I'll just grab Pool Party because why not? There we go. Okay, so starting with Lemon Lolly, we're going to bring in the vintage Coke bottle and we will stamp that here along the bottom. And then clean that off. And then move on to Flirty Flamingo. And that one we're gonna stamp here. So we're just kind of giving a random selection of bottles along the bottom. Now we'll do Pool Party. And finally, Soft Seafoam. So really nice subtle colors. And then I brought in my black marker and using the marker tip of it has a really nice writing tip. You can just add some, I call this controlled splatter. It kind of adds to sort of the feeling of bubbles, right? Fizzy pop. Do you guys call it pop or do you call it soda? Like that, along the bottom. And then we're going to bring in another discounted item, again, on April 9th. This is going to go from $44 down to $17. And this is the Love for You dies. Oh, Cindy calls it soda. What about the rest of you? Here in Canada, we tend to call it pop. So this one is a nice die set because it's got layering of words and there's like 3 different layers. On this particular project, I just cut out 2 of the layers. And I'm going to use my my glue to add this together. Now, the multi-purpose glue is going up in price, but the fine tip glue is not. And fine tip glue is really nice for these fine words because there's that tip that helps you to direct the glue a little easier. The only tricky part about this, and I've had a few of you reach out to me about this as I've started to use this in my videos more, is just what do you do when it's clogged? So you can take this off and soak it in hot water, and that might help remove it. The biggest thing is prevention. So don't leave it open air. You need to put it back with the lid, and you need to ensure that the little pin that's in the lid here fits back into this. I'm just going to use a cloth to clean off the glue just because I don't want that to get stuck in my lid. Well, this is always a challenge. I always have to prove that my eyes are not as bad as they are. So once you've got the lid on, then that will help it to not dry out. Okay, so the other thing is I guess you can buy new nibs for it, not from Stampin' Up, but I have not pursued that myself, but I haven't had a lot of problems with it drying out. So Anyway, a couple of tips for you. So we've got the For You there, and then I'm going to bring in my soft sea foam and use this label punch. This one isn't available at the moment, but I do believe it's carrying over. And we're going to use my dimensionals to pop that on. So we're going to do 1 and 2. Perfect. And then we've got this little heart to add, like that. Okay, let me go ahead and skip to the end and I'll show you the finished project. So here we go. So this is such a cute way to be able to add a little birthday card or celebration card for someone. And I like that this could be given to all genders. It's not gender specific. So it's a cute card for really anyone. Aw, thank you for giving me hearts. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next project. So this time we're using a stamp set. Again, it's on the discounted list starting April 9th. And this one is called Seaside Bay. So really cute sea creatures in it and some great scene building stamps. This was $36 and it's going to be $18. So a really nice discounted stamp set. We're also bringing in the coordinating dies, and these ones here, again, have ones to cut out the stamps, but also more of the scene builder dies. And that was $47 and it's going to be $18. So let me bring in my crumb cake ink, and I have used the deckled rectangles to make a basic white rectangle. I'm going to use a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to go ahead and tear a piece of paper like so. And we're going to use this to create a scene. So I'm actually going to, I use vellum on my glass mat just to kind of protect your eyes from the lights, but I'm going to just sort of stick this up top for a second. And then I'm going to, because I like to use my glass mat for blending. So I'll add a little bit of my crumb cake ink there, and I'm going to bring in one of my blending brushes and use this as a mask. So with this on the edge of the page, I'm going to pick that up and then just pull it from my glass mat onto my basic white. So I just love how the glass mat works to make like really, really even blending. It's very pretty, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that clean. And I'm gonna leave my mask there for a second and bring in this scene builder stamp with the sand and use my crumb cake. And we're going to use that over top of where we have added our blending. So now when we remove that, you get the little sandbar. So next, using this same torn mask, we're now going to bring in Tahitian Tide. So this is one of our in colors that's retiring. So something to pay attention to is our in colors, and any of the things that are retiring can sell out very, very quickly. So you're going to want to be quick about when you place those orders. So I'm going to actually flip this the other way just to kind of give a different look. And I'm going to bring in my small blending brush, create a little palette on the side. And once again, we're going to pull that ink over top of our mask. Blending brushes is another item that's going up quite a bit in price, like a dollar or two. So if you'd like to have a few more in your collection, or if you haven't actually collected any yet, gasp, then you'll want to do that. Okay, so we've got that there, and we're gonna go ahead and create one more little palette and pull that in. You can hear my bracelets jingling. It's kind of a happy sound. Just like that. So we're just creating the waves. We're gonna go all the way around just to have that nice dark edge on our deckled die. And so now we have this beautiful little scene here. So once again, just clean off our mat, and now we're ready to build our card. Okay, so I've already done some die cutting ahead of time to be able to create this card. So I stamped the clam from that series, and then I cut some grass from the glitter paper, and then a couple of shells, and we have a glittery pearl. So we'll set these ones aside for now. So the first thing I want to do is bring in my blending brush. And I'm actually going to just set my vellum back down so I don't blind you all. Okay. And we are going to do a little bit of coloring to just sort of finish off our oyster shell. I guess it's an oyster, right? So we're gonna bring in gray granite this time, create a little palette. Do you guys do that with your glass mat? I just think it works a lot better than trying to dip into your ink pad. It just kind of saves so that you don't have any issues with your foam. So blending pen is a blender pen is an older tool. It's something I've had since my very first starter kit 21 years ago. Not this exact one, but it does last a long time. And they just have clear fluid in it, and they'll pick up whatever pigment you're using. So in this case, we're using ink, and you can use it to color. So it gives you sort of a watercolor effect, but with the control of a marker, which is really, really handy. So if you like to color, a blender pen is a nice tool to have. So again, we're just trying to give it that feel of having some depth and shadow around our pearl and finishing off the clam like that. So then this will be added to our scene. Now, like I mentioned, I do have a little glittery pearl. It just felt like we should have that, right? A pearl needs to be glittery. So we're gonna add a dimensional to the back and stick that here in the center. So there we go. And then we're gonna build our little scene. So I have this grass here, and I'm actually going to cut off one of the pieces, and we're going to use a glue dot. Glue dots are also going up in price, is my understanding. So we're gonna pull that and stick that here on the edge of our little scene. I'm going to add my clam, oyster. I think oysters have pearls, right? I don't know. I don't live by the sea. This is going to go here. And then we're going to bring in this one that we cut off, and we're going to use a glue dot and pull this and kind of just stick it behind like that. So it gives a little bit more dimension instead of having them all going in the same direction. Now here we've got our little clam shells, so we're going to add those as well. And let's go ahead and build the scene on this. So with our crumb cake, I'll bring that back in. We have this other scene builder stamp with the shells in it, and we're going to ink that up and stamp that along the bottom. Like that. And you're going to see from this stamp or this project to my finished project, you're going to see what, if I do it over here, can you guys still see? Yeah. You're going to be able to see what an inked versus a uninked, like a refilled versus an unrefilled ink pad can do for your project. Okay, so just hold on to that thought because I just re-inked my crumb cake. Okay, so we've got added a little bit of texture along the bottom. And now I'm bringing in, this is one of our online exclusive stamp sets. It just came back into stock and it's called Sweetly Scripted. And if this isn't in your collection yet, yeah, you're gonna want it. These great greetings are so fun to be able to add to a project. And this one we're going to do along the bottom. So this one I'm doing a million thanks. So I just inked it up in Memento and we're gonna stamp it here. Like that. Okay, so let me move this aside and show you the finished project. So here you can see what it looks like when it's uninked. Look at how light it is versus when you have it inked. Difference is quite significant. So that is how we've created this little scene using our Seaside Bay stamp set and dies. Okay, we're gonna move on to the PYP card. And this one is a really, really fun project. Ooh, I just remembered I need something. Okay, so this is the Stampin' Up! Masking paper. And it is really fun to work with. I've done a whole episode on it, so if you'd like more tips, you can go back into my video library and find that. I'm gonna grab my small paper cutter so you can see how easily it cuts. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut a 1-inch strip, just like that. And we're going to build this onto our project. So on the back, you'll see it has sticker pieces. So I'm gonna, again, just gonna remove my vellum for this part because I'm gonna do some blending. So here we're going to place the masking sheet along the bottom. And this is where your grid paper can help you out. And I'm bringing in this stamp set, Botanical Layers. Botanical Layers is also going to be on our last chance list. And it's a great set at $32, but an even better set at $12. So this is a really fun way to get a nice botanical set in your collection. So I am going to start with this one. There are names for these plants. I don't know them. I think they're ornamental. You probably know it. You'll recognize it. Is it called Mother-in-Law's Tongue? So we're going to stamp this over top of our masking tape. We're going to do another one here in Lost Lagoon over on the other side. And then we're going to bring in Parakeet Party. This is one of our retiring in colors. It's a beautiful green. It's so bright and happy. So this one we're going to stamp over here. And this one goes like this. And then we have this broad-leafed one. And we'll bring in our Pool Party. And this is going to stamp here in the middle. And then I'm going to use the masking paper to hide the bottom, and we're going to stamp more over the top, like that. Now there's a couple of little they look like little seed tufts. We're going to add those over on the side. Oops, I wanted to do that in my Parakeet Party. Let me clean that off. Yeah, that's better. You'll see why in a sec. Okay, and some more over here. Like that. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in my Pool Party and make myself a little palette. And with my blending brush, we're going to pull that onto the paper over where we've put our masking paper. How many of you played with the masking paper? Just go ahead and throw that in the comments if you have. Tell me what you think of it. I struggled with it in the beginning, and I'm going to show you how to get around where I struggled with it. I've learned some things about it over the years, which is fun. But it's really fun because you can use punches with it and dies. So you can actually cut out images that you can use as masks. So if you wanted a circle or a like any of the dies that match our stamps and have the die mask over top of your stamped image, it really makes for a nice image. Okay, we're just gonna finish off our blending here. Just again, keep pulling it from our glass mat. Now, for those of you who joined during celebration, you have a glass mat. And for those of you who are still wanting one, stay tuned. I'm not sure when they're going to come out, but I feel like they will. And that's not a hint, I actually don't know. Okay, now I'm bringing in a couple of blends, and we're going to start with our Lost Lagoon. I'll use my cap as a tool, and we're gonna gently flick the tip of the marker. Just be gentle so you don't ruin your tip. And then we're gonna do the same thing with Peacock. Just like that. Now, don't be alarmed if you splatter your ink onto your glass mat. It all comes off, and you can spray it with alcohol if you have trouble with it. Now, here is the tip. If you've been struggling with your masking paper and it's been tearing your paper when it comes off, which in dry places like where I live, that can be a problem. So if you take your heat tool and you warm up the glue, it comes off no problems at all, which is really, really fun. So I'm going to just heat that up and then pull my masking paper again, heat it up. You can even do it from the back so you don't burn your fingers. I'm making it look harder than it is. It's just because I'm doing it one-handed with my left hand. There we go. So this is right on the edge there. See, I didn't heat that up enough, but that's okay. It's gonna come off. So then it creates that fun little mask area. So this is where we're going to stamp things. So bringing back in that sweetly scripted stamp set, there is a happy birthday that is absolutely stunning. We're going to use our Memento ink and stamp along that. And then stamp that right in the middle. Ooh, beautiful. Love it. See, there we go. It's coming right off. Happy, happy. Okay, and then the next thing I wanted to do was bring in my very old Stampin' Up! Ruler. And we're gonna use that black marker again to create our own border technique. So starting with the ruler, just a fraction off of the edge of our masked area. We're gonna draw our marker along. You can add a couple of dots, sort of a freestyle drawing technique. And then same thing up here, just a fraction off of the masked area. And I'm wanting the dots to be kind of random. Just like that. So then it creates this really pretty border on it. So once you've matted the card and put it onto your card base, that's what it looks like. So you can do this with really any stamp set. I've made it before with balloons, with hearts, with bees. Like, it is so, so fun. So go ahead and give that a try. And again, at $12, you can't beat this Botanical stamp set. So let me show you the projects one more time. We have our little masked area. We have our Seaside Bay. And we have the super cool stamp set. These are all going on sale on April 9th. So if you're thinking to yourself, Lindsay, why don't I have these products, go ahead to my online store and you can shop away and you can have them as well. And remember that we do have our Why Did I Buy This Maker Club starting in April. If you have questions about that, reach out. It is our first month, and so because of that, we are happy to sort of extend our deadline. We have a really excited, amazing group of people who joined in. Thank you to those of you who are going to be joining us this month. For just $35, you are going to get your own VIP Why Did I Buy This Maker Club experience. You're going to receive a packet in the mail of curated product shares, and you're going to get some time to yourself with a community who understands your love for crafting. So we'd love to have you join us. And that's my pal Meg Loven and I. So both American folks and Canadian people, you can all join in. Okay, friends, have an amazing weekend. I hope that you get some time to craft. Bye for now.